Hello and welcome to my setup tour for 2018. To start things off, we have the Dell ST2210. It's a 1920 by 1080 TN panel with a 50,000 to 1 dynamic contrast ratio. Now, I bought this in summer 2009 for maybe £150 direct from Dell. To its left we have the LG ultrawide 25UM58 Full HD 25-inch IPS LED panel. Now this is a 2560 by 1080 IPS panel with a mega contrast ratio according to LG. I think that means it's probably about 5,000 to 1. It's the same max brightness at 250 CD per meter squared, and I bought this one in October 2016 for £145 from PC World. The LG is actually mounted on the Von House single-arm LCD LED monitor desk mount bracket for 13 to 27-inch screens with 45 degrees of tilt, 360 degrees of rotation, and 180 degrees pull-out swivel arm, which has a max VESA mount of 100 by 100, which is how I've mounted that. Now, I bought this from Amazon for £15 in October 2016. As you'll notice, the Dell is propped up on a pile of books. On the top of the Dell we have the Logitech C920 HD Pro USB 1080p webcam with 20-step autofocus and a wide-angle lens. It's got excellent low-light performance. I bought this one in March this year for £30. It's normally around sort of 80 to £90. Onto the PC itself, I originally built this back in summer 2013 as a Hackintosh, now it's just for Windows. At the time it cost me around £600. Other than upgrading the GPU, which was a GeForce GT 640 last year, it's still going strong for 1080p gaming, but it's woefully underpowered for video editing and streaming. The CPU is an Intel Core i5-3570K, so it is overclockable. The RAM is 16 gigs of DDR3 1600MHz RAM. And I've now replaced the GPU with an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti SC Gaming 4GB GDR5 card. Now there's a 500GB SSD in there and two 1TB hard drives that I cannibalized from older systems. On the top of the PC is where I keep my rather dusty controllers. You can tell which ones I use kind of day to day. So there's a PS4 controller. I do have the PS4 Bluetooth dongle as well as the USB connector. The USB connector's never been great, so frequently disconnects during games. There's a very unloved Xbox 360 controller and a Steam controller that now I mainly use for City Skylines, but previously I was playing Star Wars Battlefront, Rocket League, all kinds of competitive games on it that you really wouldn't think work, but with the combination of the motion controls and just the paddles on the back, it's surprisingly useful. There's Wiimotes and nunchucks here too. I use those for emulating Wii games when I want to play them at 1080p. I've still got my Wii downstairs for occasional games of GoldenEye or Mario Kart or playing my GameCube games, but it's really satisfying to just connect these up to the PC with a £10 Bluetooth dongle and just play Wii games at 1080p really. So coming back to the main desk, here's my microphone that I use for streaming. It's the Editor's Keys SL150 USB condenser microphone, so there's no need for amps or XLR cables, it's all done over one USB cable. I bought a cheap pop filter for it for £10 at the time as well. I got this for £72 back in December of 2011. It's now £100 with a different design on the front. I'm not quite sure why there's been so much inflation on it, but it's a truly amazing microphone. I use it for recording audiobooks as well. Really fantastic, would recommend it, especially if you want to do vocal recording. So that's sitting on the Monocle 170mm MS12 desktop microphone stand. I bought this back in December because I was using a normal mic stand, as you'd see in a sort of a music rehearsal space, and actually it was a nightmare. It was absolutely terrible to use. So this one only cost me £11 and it just means I can keep the microphone sat on the desk. Now, tucked away in the corner here, you may have missed it, is the speaker for this entire setup. It's a JVC wireless speaker with an FC, it's the SP-AD50B. Really rolls off the tongue, that name. It's just a little Bluetooth speaker that he charges over micro USB, and I've got it hooked up here with an auxiliary cable via HDMI. It cost me £20 from PC World in the summer of 2016, I think. I do use it sometimes as a Bluetooth speaker, so it's really nice that I can just remove that from this setup, but on the off chance I actually want to have speakers, maybe to watch a film or something, it's more than powerful enough really. So over here we have my mouse. This is the Corsair Sabre RGB optical gaming mouse. It's got a 10,000 dpi optical sensor, 8 programmable buttons, 4-zone RGB multicolour lighting. It's pretty lightweight. This one's in the black colour. It's actually quite an old design that I've got. It's currently £45 on Amazon with a picture of the Corsair boat, but back in summer 2016, again from PC World, I bought this for £30. That's sat on the Roccat ROC 13053 Kaito mini size shiny black gaming mousepad 3mm. I bought this back in January 2014 from ebuyer.com for £7.50, and I've got to be honest, it's fine, it does the job. Then here's my mechanical keyboard. I am going to give you the product name of this verbatim. It's Mechanical Keyboard Blue Switch USB Wired Top-Op Gaming Keyboard, 87 keys, anti-ghosting with illuminated LED multimedia backlit keycap for gamers typists. I originally bought it because I was getting RSI at work, so hence the blue switches, which are nice and clicky. I'll give you a little sound test at this point. You get the idea. So this cost me £30 from Amazon back in March 2017. So over here on the corner of my desk is my MacBook Pro mid-2012 13-inch, which I bought second-hand off eBay. I tend to use this more for my web design work nowadays. Originally came with 4 gigs of RAM, which I upgraded to 8 gig, despite Apple telling me that that's not possible. I've replaced the hard drive with originally a 60 gig SSD, but now a 240 gig SSD, which is more than enough space really. And it's rocking an Ivy Bridge Core i5 clocked at 2.5 GHz. Now, when I bought this back in January 2014 from eBay secondhand, it cost me £600, but actually I managed to sell my old laptop for £300, so really it cost me £300, not including the cost of the incremental upgrades. Here you'll also notice I have not one but 2 Rick and Morty coasters. There's another couple kicking around somewhere in the room. It's really important to stay hydrated, and these were a Christmas present this year from a great friend, so thank you Simon, they're great. I also have a kneeling chair, which is really comfortable and ergonomic for sitting on, and for my headphones I use the HyperX Cloud Alpha Pro or something. I forgot to record audio, I'm sorry. Finally, here behind the setup, ready for streaming, is the newer 100 39506-5 by 6.5 feet /1.5/2M photo collapsible reversible 2 sides chroma key green blue background panel. It's a reversible collapsible blue and green screen. Dirt cheap, cost me £25 from Amazon back in February 2018. It does the job. I'll be honest, if it weren't for my 2 softboxes, which are some, again, cheap photocell ones that I bought as a pair from Amazon a few years back for about £70 I think. If it weren't for the lighting with those, this would be absolutely useless. It's very thin, it's hard to get a consistent colour across the back, but it's sufficient so that in dark conditions, with a softbox illuminating it from behind and a softbox reflected onto the front, you can chroma key it out in OBS. Well, that's my setup that I'm using at the minute. I'm not going to put links to any of the products featured in this video in the description because, quite frankly, I wouldn't really recommend any of them, other than the microphone, the mic stand, the monitor stand, the LG monitor, and the Logitech webcam. Those I would recommend. I guess the mousepad's alright. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know. If you didn't, also let me know. There's a whole comments thing somewhere down there. Just, yeah. Bye. Oh, check me out on social media, that's it. That's the thing I need to do. So if you want to follow me on Twitch, you can go to that link there, Scruffy238. And if you want to send me a tweet, I've got a new Twitter linked to this account, which is at ScruffTech. I want to say it. I'll put the lower thirds on here. Have a wonderful day.